Alright guys, so Lyrics Messiah here, and today we're talking about food. But more than just that, we're talking about farming from home, because what could be better than going straight from your garden directly to the table? Alright guys, so today we're talking about food, but at the end of this video I was actually able to sit down and speak with some persons that own a hydroponic system distribution right here in Trinidad. So you're gonna want to stick around for that.
We could start over.
Well, yeah. But like I said, we're talking about food. Now I'm a human being, and I think that gives me the authority to say that food is very important to us. It's very important to our development. It's important for life. If we go back in history, what we will see in the Stone Age is we had hunter-gatherers. Now what that meant is we were following the food. So wherever the animals went, wherever the food was growing, that's where humans would set up shop. Now when we kill off whatever is there, or when that stops growing, we move to where life is flourishing. And that worked for a while, and then we had something called the Neolithic Revolution. Now, that's actually also called the birth of the New Stone Age or the Agricultural Revolution. What that means? Well, humans stopped following the food, and we started bringing the food to us. So we started domesticating animals. We would herd them, we would raise them, and we started planting crops. Why? Well, why do humans do anything? Convenience. It's all about convenience. So now we had control over the crops. We could settle, they would grow right here, and we wouldn't have to move around. Fast forward a couple of years, we had the Industrial Revolution, and this also fed into agriculture. So again, for convenience, we want to grow a lot more, a lot quicker, with a lot less resources to make a lot more profits. I mean, it was, I guess, for good intentions initially, but it started to be abused. And so then we had mass production. We had genetically modified crops and animals, all for convenience. And so today, we're looking at some problems with regards to the GMOs in foods, the pesticides, the weedicides, and also the impact on the environment, because mass production of anything releases fossil fuels. I actually think it's time for a new revolution. Now, this is not going to be anything like the Neolithic Revolution or the Industrial Revolution. It's actually going to be a pause, a slowdown. I think it's time for subsistence farming to be on the rise. What is subsistence farming, you're probably asking? Well, it's like this. I'm at home and I grow crops at home to feed my home. And in doing so, I don't produce anything in excess so as to have any waste. And I'm also not doing it for, profit. I'm just doing it to feed my household. Now, what that allows is you get to control what you're eating, what goes into your meals, as well as there's a cut down on the amount of overproduction and waste. You also have a more educated population with regards to agriculture, because now we understand how food works, what it does to our bodies, and how to grow it for ourselves. Now, with regards to subsistence farming, or as some people call it, kitchen gardens, which is basically just growing crops to use in your kitchen, there are a couple of ways to do it. I think one of the more known or more popular ways is just to plant crops in the ground, which is fine, but again, convenience, but also the development of our knowledge of the way crops work. We have something now called hydroponics. What is hydroponics? So, I mean, it's explained more at the end of the video in my interview with Faria Khan, but I'm just gonna give my little 2 cents on it. Hydroponics is where, rather than planting crops in the ground and having to, fertilize it and water it in the ground, you grow it up out of the ground, and you actually do all of that watering and that fertilizing by soluble form. Now, honestly, it's some really cool stuff. It probably sounds cool as well, but and this is why I was saying the next revolution is a bit of a slowdown. It's actually not convenient in the traditional definition of the word convenient, because convenience right now is walking into a store, giving them money, and them giving you a fully prepared meal, already cooked and everything. But with farming at home, hydroponics, you have to plant it, take care of it, and cook it afterwards. The benefits of that, however, is you obviously know what is in your meal. You get to control that. Some of the other benefits, as well as the money that it will save you. So rather than having to make all these groceries or go to the market every Sunday or Saturday, depending, you now have it right outside. So whenever you're ready, it's conveniently available. And so in that sense of the word, it's convenient. With hydroponics in particular, you get to save space, and you have a lot more control over your crops. So you could see the roots, you could see the soil, and you could control what nutrients is getting into it based on the whatever you put in the solution. So yeah, I think it's a really good idea. Personally, I really want to get into hydroponics because of the size of the yard that I have. I don't think I could actually plant in the ground and grow a lot. So I think coming up out of the ground and using hydroponic systems, I could grow a lot more. The next thing is my area floods a lot, and putting crops in the ground, for me, it'll be risky, because if the yard does get flooded, then that's everything dead, which happened to us before. So we had a few lots growing thyme, I think black-eyed peas as well, something else in the yard, and it got flooded and everything died. But with the hydroponic system, it's elevated and you could actually move it. So let's say I know that a tropical storm is going to hit next week, I could move my system to suit. Now, for the average person who probably isn't into agriculture and agricultural systems, you're probably wondering, how exactly does hydroponics work and how could I get into it? Which was also my questions. So what I did was I found a place called Greenage Farms, and what they do is they specialize in hydroponics. I was able to do an interview with them, and as I was teasing at the beginning of this video, I'm gonna share that with you, and maybe you could contact them and start your own subsistence farm right at home using their hydroponic systems.
Hi everyone, I am Faria Khan from Greenage Farms, and at Greenage Farms we supply full automated hydroponic systems. It ranges from the vertical Mr. Stacky planters to grow bags to grow beds. The hydroponics is a method of farming where you don't use soil, so the plants would get its nutrients in a soluble form. So when we now got into hydroponics, we use the NFT system, which consists of the PVC pipes, and well, it's a recirculating system. So we moved away from that type of system and we got into the drip irrigation systems. With the vertical Mr. Stacky hydroponic systems, you save a lot of space. So you maximize your production based on whatever area you're using. Also, it involves a lot less monitoring, since you don't have to check, the parameters as often compared to recirculating systems. Another benefit is it uses a lot less power, since the pump comes on just twice a day for 2 minutes. It's definitely more cost effective because you use a lot less growing media. The hydroponic media use a lot less irrigation as well. Reach us on Facebook, Greenage Farms, also on Instagram, Greenage Farms TC, or you can check out our website, www.greenagefarms.com, or you can give us a call on 738-9504 or 376-6572.
So of course, all of that information is linked down below, so check that out. Subscribe, like the video, and feel free to share it with somebody that you know might appreciate this information about hydroponics. And let's start a conversation around the subsistence farming revolution. This is Lex Messiah signing off, and as always, may the light expose you well.